What's up guys, Metallic Rock here, and today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a video where I talk about the end of BFA and why the expansion is over for me, as well as a couple things that I regret or didn't get to do in BFA, and some stuff that I did get to do that I succeeded in or accomplished in BFA, some notable points for me at least, as well as like my hopes for Shadowlands, like what I hope to get out of Shadowlands and what I plan to do for Shadowlands. So I think I'm going to start off with talking about like why BFA is over for me, like why I don't have much of an interest in playing it anymore until Shadowlands comes out, or maybe a little bit of pre-patch, but I'll get into that in a second. So a lot of my issue with it is that I'm just not motivated to play any more BFA. There's just other games or other things that I would rather do now as opposed to playing more BFA. I feel like I've gotten a lot out of it, and besides a couple little minor things that I'll get to later that I didn't get to finish, I feel like I've gotten everything that I'm going to get out of BFA while trying to avoid things that I don't want to get out of BFA, if you know what I mean. It's just a lack of motivation for me to continue playing at this point. The other big issue is that I'm not sure if I'm going to play in like pre-patch or not is with corruption going away. I don't know if I want to play without corruption. Like, yeah, you'll still have your Azerite gear and your essences, but I play really corruption, like quote-unquote dependent classes, like Fire Mage, which so much of my damage on my Fire Mage comes from Ignite, or when I'm tanking, I'm either playing my Monk, which has a lot of versatility, which really helps, or my Demon Hunter, which does like no damage without Twilight Dev. So I really am not sure how fun it'll be for me to play without like corruption, and whether or not that's even worth it. And the other thing is knowing that besides like mounts and stuff, all the gear is going to be useless by October 27th. All gone. Everything is just, you'll start getting quests in Shadowlands that will immediately replace all that gear. Like literally, especially in the case of Azerite gear, which I think all my characters have 480 pieces, but they said that they're going to try to replace your Azerite gear as quickly as possible since they're not going to work in Shadowlands areas, which is a really good thing. But it means that, like, for me, September is going to be kind of a dead month while I wait for Shadowlands to come out. Some of the failures that I didn't succeed in, personally, were, like, mounts that I didn't get that I'm still hoping for. This is the only reason I would really play still, but I really wanted the Tombstalker. I really wanted the Tombstalker from King's Rest, Mythic King's Rest. I think it looks really good, and I know without having flying in Shadowlands, having that Tombstalker just would have been really awesome to be riding around on. I didn't really get any of the meta achievements done enough for Nazjatar or Mechagon to get the Crab mount or the Mechagon mounts, which it kind of sucks, and if I want them in the future, I know that it's going to be like an annoying pain to get that I didn't go after, but you know, that's on me. The other big failure I would say for me is when it came to tanking. So let me summarize my experience of BFA, because I can't speak on the whole expansion as I didn't play the whole expansion. I played Season 1 from the start till Battle of the Zarlor came out, and I think Season 2 was just starting, right? And then I didn't play again until Season 4 in 8.3 when quality of life catch-up mechanics were coming into play. So that's the perspective that I'm coming from when I talk about my experiences. And when I first started tanking in Season 1, I had just started playing BFA, I was gearing up, I was really into Mythic Plus, I'm playing a Monk, I really like it, and I feel like I'm doing well. But then I kept holding myself back. I kept getting really lucky with like Warforges and Titan Forges at the time that I had really good gear. I had really solid like heroic, close to mythic, I think, raid gear on my Monk for the time, and I didn't do any 10s. I had one experience where I went into an Underrot with the 10 Affix at the time, which was the Infested, where I think they called them Gahoonies. I think that was the common word for them. You had to kill that mob and then kill the ads that dropped from them, or it would spread, and it made everything really difficult. And I held myself back because I didn't think that I was good enough for that. Instead of finding the proper resources to learn how to tank, I chose to assume I couldn't be better than I was. And I really want to let you know that that's not the way to do it. Whether a DPS or a healer or a tank, there are resources out there. You could just work your way slowly. You don't have to be like me and hold yourself back in these ways. And it was because I didn't let myself grow fast enough that I ended up, I'm not going to complete Keystone Master because I started too late. Now I do tank 15s, and I'm getting very close to timing them, and that's with pug groups. And if I had started earlier, I really feel like it would be more of a accomplishment. I feel like if I had started earlier, it would have been easier for me to accomplish getting Keystone Master, which is one of the things that I'm really upset that I'm not going to get. That's a big disappointment for me for BFA. Now let's switch it to a more positive topic, and let's talk about some of the things that BFA did right. BFA, for me, you have to keep in mind that I came in 8.3 when catch-up mechanics were starting. I came in right when Echoes of Nyalotha, I think, a little bit after I hit 120, Echoes of Nyalotha came through to let you buy your essences from Mother. And while I was playing, the Corruption Vendor came through to let you buy your corruptions from Mother on that rotating schedule. Yeah, and I thought Corruption and Essences were awesome and really, really fun. I really did. I know that they were problematic, especially for a lot of people. I know that Essences were a really, really awful pain that even I had to go through to acquire them on my first character, and it wasn't fun. And there's a lot of essences that I could have used, like Blood of the Enemy, that I'm not a PvPer. I'm not going to go get Blood of the Enemy. It doesn't matter if it's my best essence. I'm not going to go get it. I'm not going to grind that much, honor to get an essence. And all in all, I thought that they were really cool and really fun and really impactful and really added a lot of variety to the game. I know that might seem counterintuitive to the way that we ended up seeing, like, oh, well, Twilight Dev and Infinite Stars dominated, and in Mythic Plus, Azurite Beam dominated. But I really think that there were a lot of different builds, at least, that came from them. The only issue being the homogenization of, like, oh, what's it matter if I take a Demon Hunter or a Warrior? It matters. The Demon Hunter is just going to do more damage because it's a Demon Hunter. But they're both running the same Corruptions, and they're both running the same Essences. So I know that there were drawbacks. But for me, Corruption and Essences were really fun, and I did like them. And then as well as some triumphs of things that I did accomplish. I became a Pug Raid Lead, kind of. And it really changed the way I interacted with the game. And I think that's part of what made BFA so fun for me. I started leading the Ashvane Trinket runs for me and my friends, as well as parts of Nyalotha every week to try to get, like, my Undulant Caress on my Demon Hunter and things like that. And I thought that was really, really fun. That was really cool. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I felt like my confidence grow in the fact that I never thought that I would be the type of person to lead a raid, much less just grab a handful of people up and let's do a raid. And I did get a lot of mounts, just even if it's from old content or a couple BFA contents. I got some old rep grind mounts. I got the mount achievement that got me the kite, I think. Or I'm working towards the kite. I got a good amount of the island mounts, actually. Without even running that many islands. I actually got the Fiery Warhorse from Karazhan. I got into mount runs as the expansion started to wind down and mellow out for me, and I ended up getting that. And like I said before, I did start timing 10 pluses. I've got 10 pluses timed across the board. Not fully across the board. And even though I waited too long to time all my 15s for Keystone Master, I timed 14s, and they seem easy now. So that growth there felt really good to me, and I really did enjoy that. And now I'm going to jump right into Shadowlands and my plans for the future. So my goals for Shadowlands is to actually join a guild. We have a little guild right now where it's just like a couple friends. But I really want to join a guild and maybe get a little bit more into raiding, even more. Being as one of the things that I'm upset about is that I didn't kill N'Zoth outside of LFR, so I'm not going to get the Void Wing, another mount that will go away forever that I won't be able to hold in my hands. As well as some big gold making plans. I have some big gold making plans for Shadowlands. I want to try to max out my professions very quickly and take advantage of the early markets. Obviously, I'm planning on playing tank again and having a DPS on the side, but I'm not sure that DPS yet. But I'll probably be playing Monk. I'm interested to try that Touch of Death again. Still a big focus on Mythic Plus, even though I'm more interested in Maybe I'll even get into guides on the Mythic Plus side if I see that there's space for that on YouTube, but I do have really good recommendations that I'm sure people who I followed for Mythic Plus will come out with even more guides in Shadowlands, so maybe I'll compile like my favorite guide makers instead and try to get that information out there. And the last thing I want to end off with in this video is my hopes for Shadowlands. I'm hopeful that Blizzard will listen to the community and make the right choices for the players that they will actually enjoy and not force the choices that Blizzard believes to be right onto players, because history shows they're not great judges of what's fun. I'm really hopeful that Shadowlands will be everything that everybody has built it up to be in their minds and really satisfy everybody's desire for a really, really good expansion, but I'm unoptimistic. That's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe you can leave some of your disappointment and some of your triumphs with BFA down below in the comments. I'd really appreciate hearing about them and maybe talking about them some with you. If you like this video at all, please leave a like and subscribe. Maybe click the bell for notifications. And as always, you can find me on twitch.tv/metallicrock or my Twitter @metallicrock_. That's where you'll see my stream dates or maybe some updates about videos I'm working on, things like that. Just me chatting with people out in the world. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all again really soon.